Hey, what up guys, it's Yeti here. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about spray control. Spray control is a massive part about any competitive FPS shooter, especially a game like Counter-Strike, Rainbow Six Siege, and Valorant. I think Valorant goes very close to CSGO in terms of how the recoil works. However, there are some changes and some differences compared to the game. So first of all, let's get it out of the way. After the 6th shot, there is some sort of recoil randomness / bloom that affects how your gun goes. The pattern will still represent, I guess you could say, the number 7 in some ways. Most guns have their own patterns. I'm going to show them to you here on the walls. You know, you should pick up the gun you're trying to learn to spray for, go to a wall, shoot at a wall without controlling the recoil, and then when you try to control it, you want to go opposite of the whatever you saw on the wall. The next thing we have to discuss is crouching. Crouching does directly reduce the spray pattern's, I guess you could say, size. It makes all the bullets come in closer and tighter, and it also reduces the bloom. That being said though, a lot of professional players and Valorant streamers have been saying lately, unbind crouch, this is going to be the end of you. And even the developers addressed this and they said, no, crouch is actually good. It effectively increases the actual DPS of your gun. And I actually end up crouching quite often if I whiff the first couple of shots because 1, it brings in the pattern tighter, and 2, if you crouch, you basically already move your crosshair to, let's say, from their head down to their belly, which is already some sort of recoil compensation, and you don't have to drag down that much. Especially because I found myself overcompensating for recoil very often in Valorant, because I think compared to CSGO, the recoil is a little bit tighter, but it also has that randomness, as I said earlier. You actually can counter the randomness / bloom after the 6th shot, and there's 2 ways to do so. So number 1, this was actually improved in the latest update. Whenever you're shooting at the wall, you will see those bullet holes, and they actually scale depending on how far away from a wall you are, which seems like a weird thing, but whenever you're actually using it in action, you realize why it's made that way. So 1, there are black / grayed out holes behind your enemy that are appearing as you're spraying. The second thing, which is also connected to this, is that whenever you're hitting a bullet on the wall, there's now some sort of quakey effect on the bullet. I don't know how to really explain this to you, but whenever a bullet comes in contact with the wall behind it, it creates this circular wave around it, kind of like a small explosion. This is a lot easier to see after the update they released yesterday on April 29th of 2020. And there's the most obvious thing, the one that a lot of people have not figured out yet, but in my opinion, it is the most obvious one. While you are spraying, you don't even have to learn the recoil pattern. Your gun will visually show you where it's gonna go next. Your gun will either start rotating to left or to right, depending, on which weapon you're using and how far into your spray you are. But if you keep your eyes on the crosshair and on the barrel of the gun, you should be able to control the recoil. This is hard to explain, and it's not something that, you can just watch this guide and you will instantly know how to spray. It will definitely take some practice, but keep your vision on the gun sometimes. I know it's hard to do it during sprays, but if you're practicing or if you're like, pre-firing or spraying through a smoke, you can really easily see that because they've really over-exaggerated the movement of the gun's barrel so you can compensate the actual recoil. This is a difference compared to Counter-Strike. I don't think we have that in Counter-Strike. And I also think there was a time when tracers from your bullets used to be misleading in Counter-Strike. I don't know if they fixed that or not, but I know for a while you were advised to turn those off and just learn the recoil completely from the book. But now, in this game, we can use the tracers, the bullet holes, and the tilt / sway of the gun to our advantage. These are the most important things. Another thing I wanted to address in this video, which is very connected to spraying, is when you should actually spray. Riot Dev said multiple times, you should probably not be spraying far away. You should not be moving while spraying. But they also said, oh, we will keep the movement shot accuracy low, because if if we would want it so that even on close range, you shouldn't move and spray, we would just make it so you can't walk and spray or walk and shoot in that matter. And that is a very interesting point they made, and I do agree with it. I think that this game is completely okay with the way movement accuracy works. Yes, it is random. You do get unlucky headshots, but for the most part, skilled players will always demolish the ones with lower skill. You should spray people, I would say, like between 0 and like 15 to 20 meters away. But if it's more than that, I would really advise you guys to either burst or tap fire. Especially if you're using the Vandal, for example. Vandal is very, very good with tapping. And then something like Phantom is better with bursting / spraying. For example, Phantom close range, you should almost always spray just because of the fact that it shoots so fast. And it's still a one-shot headshot up until 15 meters range. So yeah, that's how I would use those guns. I also quickly just wanted to get over, I guess, the basics of moving and shooting. A lot of people do not know some of these, and I talk about these pretty often on my Twitch stream, but I wanted to just include them into this video because it's the same topic. So number one, your moving accuracy whenever you're walking by either pressing W or strafing with A and D is bad. Some guns have better accuracy and some have worse. For the most part, you should not be walking and shooting, except I would say pistols can do it. Pistols have pretty good moving accuracy, but if you're using anything like a rifle or an SMG, or especially something like a sniper, you should not be moving whatsoever. And Valorant actually has another trick that a lot of people do not know, and it's shift walking. You can shift walk and accurately shoot many of your guns. It's gonna be exactly the same as standing still on assault rifles and pistols. I haven't tried many other weapons. I think SMGs also work, but I'm 100% sure that LMGs do not. At least they didn't at the time of recording this video. So yeah, remember, if you're, let's say, flanking or walking behind someone slowly, you can actually shift walk and fire. I don't think this mechanic is actually that useful or that overpowered, because for the most part, shift walking is so slow that almost any player with decent skill will be able to hit you. Plus, if you're shift walking and if you get shot, you might as well be standing still, because we all know how slow your player starts or your character starts moving after you get tagged with a bullet. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys learned something new. If you did, leave it in the comment section below. Also, remember to drop a like and press that sub button if you want to see more Valorant content. Anyways, I hope you guys liked it, and I will see you soon. Have a great day.
So I get higher and take my soul, throw it in the fire. I can't be safe, so I get higher. Was shot, then 10 top, never seeing me again when I